Hello, and welcome to Q Skills 3, Reading and Writing, Unit 8. In this unit, you will learn the grammar scale, sentence fragments. First, let's take a look at complex sentences. In the previous unit, Unit 7, we looked at complex sentences which contain dependent clauses. Let's recap. A complex sentence has an independent clause, or main clause, and one or more dependent clauses. A clause is a group of words that has a subject and a verb. An independent clause can stand alone as a complete sentence. A dependent clause cannot stand alone and must be used with a main clause. Dependent clauses that show cause can begin with subordinators like because, since, and when. Look at these examples. Beatrice was not happy when her mother told her about the goat. Because people in the United States donated money, her family received a goat. The parts of the sentences beginning with because and when are dependent clauses. If a dependent clause comes before the main clause, it is followed by a comma. Take a look at this example. Because people in the United States donated money, here we have a comma, her family received a goat. Dependent clauses with because, since, and when are frequently used in cause and effect essays. The dependent clause with because, since, or when is the cause, and the main clause is the effect. Pause the page if you would like to read further. So let's take a look at Unit 8, page 188, Sentence Fragments. What is a sentence fragment? Well, fragment, in literal terms, means a piece or a part. Let's take a look. You can pause the page if you need extra time. A sentence fragment is an incomplete sentence that cannot stand alone. Sentence fragments are usually considered errors. It is important to avoid sentence fragments in your writing. Look at the examples. When children play soccer. Because children can get injured. As you learnt in Unit 7, these examples are dependent clauses. When used alone, they are fragments. They need to be combined with a main clause. When children play soccer, they learn the importance of teamwork. Parents worry about competitive sports because children can get injured. Words such as because, since, although, when, or after are often used with dependent clauses. These words connect an incomplete sentence to a main clause to avoid a fragment. Let's break it down. Here we have a sentence. When people help others, comma, they feel a sense of satisfaction. Here you can see the first part is a fragment and cannot be left alone. They feel a sense of satisfaction is the main clause to complete the sentence. Just to recap, a fragment cannot stand alone and needs to combine with a main clause. Let's take a look at some further examples. The underlined words are fragments. When people travel, they feel happier. Lamia works hard because she wants excellent results or grades. Although Turkey enjoys seafood, he hates sushi. When Sammy arrived at the airport, he realized he forgot his passport at home. Common mistakes. A sentence fragment is an incomplete sentence that cannot stand alone. They are usually considered errors, and it is important to avoid them in your writing. When I play football. This is incorrect, as it is a fragment on its own. When I play football, I become competitive. So here we have a fragment and then a main clause. Let's do some practice. It's your turn. Underline the fragment in each sentence. You can pause the screen, take your time, and press play when you're ready to check your answers. Okay, great. So how did you do? Let's take a look at number 1. The underlined words should be because it's bad for their health. Parents avoid giving a lot of candy to their children because it's bad for their health. Number 2. When new drivers pass their driving test, they are often very cautious. Number 3. After I wake up every morning, I make some coffee. Number 4. Since I hate pasta, I won't order the spaghetti. Now time for more practice. Identify each sentence as a complete sentence, S, Or a sentence fragment? F. Correct the sentence fragments. You can pause the screen and check your answers when you're ready. Okay, so how did you do? Remember, F is for sentence fragment and S is for complete sentence. Number 1 is F. It's a fragment. And this is one way we can correct it. When athletes feel pain, they should stop and listen to their bodies. Number 2 was a complete sentence. He always stretches for 20 minutes before he exercises. Number 3 was a sentence fragment. And here is another way you can correct it. Because there are more children in competitive sports, more children are getting injured. Number 4 was a complete sentence. Since I started playing soccer, I have lost weight. And number 5 was a sentence fragment. Although baseball looks easy to play, it is difficult to master. Now take a look at this paragraph. I want you to read the paragraph and correct any fragments. You can pause the screen, take your time, and on the next page you can check your answers. And here we have the answers. Please pause the screen and check your answers. And that's sentence fragments. Log in to LMS for further practice of sentence fragments. Thank you and goodbye.